computer is being slow. I'm so sorry.
Okay, we are good to go.
Awesome. Come on. Oh my gosh, my computer is frozen. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I want to apologize in advance, guys. I am prepared in the sense that I have touched all of the material. I have not done more than a brief read through on all of it. I was blatantly confused, I guess, on multiple occasions, but that is okay. I'm here.
Well, you and me both, because I was like, wait, what are we doing? Then when we got the message, I was like, okay, guys, maybe I'm not following y'all. I was like, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
So let's see. The first thing on the agenda is introductions. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So my name is Cheyenne, and I'm facilitating this meeting. So let's just go around and do introductions and then what role we're doing.
Okay, so you first. Got it.
Oh, wait, do we actually, that was something that was in the email. Do we want to quickly decide, are we going to have the facilitator just pick on people to go, or are we going to have it be whoever goes last picks the next person?
Do we want to just do like, so I would pick for Isadora, for example, and then she would go and then she'd pick the next person?
Sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay, cool. So, Isadora, introduce
Yay.
you.
Okay. Hello, my name is Isadora, guys, again, and I live in Alaska. And I'm supposed to get the joke, right? And I got it. It's in here. Should I say it now, or do I wait for it, or just go for it?
Wait until after introduction.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry. All right, I will pick Amber since she was next.
Okie dokie. Well, my name is Amber O'Neill, and I will be the host for the meeting. And Marina, go ahead.
I'm Marina. I'm the submitter for this module. So, yeah. Okay, Paul.
My name is Paul, and I'm Module 2's challenger. And there's only one of us left, so Aaron, you're up.
I'm Aaron, and I'm the timekeeper for today.
Awesome. So we'll move on to item number 3, which is joke of the day. So, Isadora.
Yeah, okay. What does the man in the moon do when his hair gets too long?
What?
He eclipses it.
Oh, that is dead joke worthy. My goodness.
See, it's on that little everyday thing on my store, so every day I'm gonna read one.
That's a good idea.
I like it. So number 4, moving on to an icebreaker. So the question is, if money were no object, where would you live, and then why would you live there? So Paul, do you want to go first?
All right, so let me start by saying in general, I hate living in California. It's hot, it's expensive, it's whatever. But if money was no object, I'd stay right here because I know everybody here. I'm pretty accustomed to the culture, having lived here for most of my life. And if I can afford it, I'm just going to keep my house at like 45 degrees every single day of the year and never leave my house. Otherwise, I'm getting out of California.
Yeah.
Marina, you're up.
Okay, if I could live anywhere, I'd probably do Connecticut. I lived there for a few years, and I just love seasons. Like I love the summer, but I also love the winter and the fall. And I feel like Connecticut just really gives you all of that. So yeah, Connecticut. Aaron.
So I would probably live in Germany just because I visited there over the summer a few years ago for a school trip, and it was beautiful. I loved every moment of it, and I would love to go live there if I could afford it. Amber.
Okie dokie. I actually lived in Germany for 9 years when my dad.
Oh, that's awesome.
So sprechen Sie Deutsch, no more. Okay.
Okay.
Money was not an object. I think that I would want to be in my own tiny house community because I am obsessed with tiny houses. I don't want to show anybody my queue on my YouTube. It's ridiculous. But preferably still in Arizona. I love Arizona. Maybe I would go just to Flagstaff or right before Flagstaff because I'm not really a fan of snow. I hate it. At this point, I no longer like inclement weather of any kind, but I really do like Arizona. But yes. And Cheyenne.
Okay. If I could live anywhere, hear me out. I would live in India. I went there for 2 weeks this summer on a missions trip, and I'm obsessed with the culture. And it's so pretty there, and it's a place that you wouldn't think would be pretty, but it's just absolutely beautiful. And the people are so nice, like so much nicer than here in California.
All right, me.
Isadora.
Money was an issue. I think I'd love to go back to California because my whole family's there and I miss so much. I lived there for 15 years and then my husband got transferred to Texas, so we moved to Texas. But if that wasn't an issue, I would definitely go back to Temecula area where I was living for a long time and close to the wineries and my little bitty place with a huge yard for my dogs. I think that's where I would go. Yeah.
So moving on to number 5, team members preparedness. So we'll just go through and share anything that we have not read or videos that we haven't watched. Aaron, do you want to start?
Yeah, so I think I did all of it. I read chapters 2 and 7, which were really boring, but I read through them. And then I did like the George Washington University website with the jump starting teams, and then the 3 pillars of teaming culture article, and then the 2 GWU websites with the trust and team dynamic items. That's what I did. Oh, and the working with others, developing trust and cooperation article. I did all of them. I don't know if there was other videos, but I didn't do any supplemental readings if there was any. Paul.
Similarly, I did everything because we said the one thing in our meeting, but my mind was thinking of the actual stuff. So I I kind of had some. Is that me? Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So yeah, like I kind of looked at it already before we even ended the last meeting. So yeah, I'm all caught up. Oh, my bad. Let's go with Isadora.
Right. I did all that reading too, and one thing that I was talking to Amber was like about the psychological contract. I did that, and I don't know like if we are supposed to talk about that. So I did all the readings, the jump starting, and I got all bullet points for that. I just don't know like are we supposed to talk about the psychological contract and like see like if we all agree with that or not. I don't know. I'll go Marina, sorry.
One thing she did say, it was either in the email or it was somewhere. She said that like one thing is like, oh, we should talk about if we all did the psychological contract, because if we didn't, we would like push it to the next agenda. But if we did all do it, we'd talk about it here. I did do that. Also, I looked at all the material and I found a lot of the like links and resources really helpful. The textbook stuff was all like I didn't really find anything like too like mind-blowing in there, but I did like look at all the material. Okay, Amber.
Well, let me unmute myself. I was extremely confused, guys. Let me tell you what happened. So during the initial meeting, I asked a question of, is it this? And I think I got a reply of yes. And I was like, okay, great. So I thought I knew. And I did not. So in our initial feedback, Dr. Chanley did advise me that that's incorrect. And I was like, okay, great, I'll adjust. And then when I sent out the email invite today, then she noted in our feedback, I don't know if everybody saw it, but that, no, Amber, that's still wrong. It's this. So I have looked and skimmed everything. I have gone through and made some brief notes. I have not read through everything, but I did watch the little pieces of videos that were there. So my apologies, but I am on target now. Has everybody gone?
I haven't. Yay. I have read everything. There were a couple links that I could not get to open.
Some of them didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. So like on the George Washington website, like I know one of the links it just didn't open for me, so I didn't do that. And then I think there was like one video I didn't watch. I read the textbook. I actually enjoyed what I read in the textbook, but I think that might just be me. Has everybody else gone? Cool. Oh, and then going off of what Marina was saying, I have only done part of the psychological contract because I'll be honest, I'm still getting used to the whole due date thing because in the grade book it says like, oh, it's due September 1st, but then it's like different based on when we have our meetings.
Yeah.
The psychological contract is halfway done.
So she said that we should focus, I guess, on the course schedule to
Yeah, she
utilize.
uploaded a current version.
Another one? Okay.
No. Like when she first said it, she uploaded the current one, so that's what we should go off of.
Okay. Well, I'm still working on mine as well.
So we should just discuss it next meeting.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll make a note of that so that way we can add it to the next agenda.
I was so in a hurry because I thought I had to do this psychological today. So I got home and I just started reading and I started doing it. And I was like, and I sent it. Because when she texted, like on the email, she said that we should have got that done. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't. I read it, but I didn't finish. So I just scrambled everything up and finished.
I submitted the psychological contract. I haven't finished, but like, I think there's a thing on it where like in the grade book it says it's being, what is it? It's like a plagiarism check thing.
Yeah, they all have the
originality report on it.
Yeah, well, it's because we're all using the same prompt text, so it's all so like mine's got like a 30%, but that's expected.
Okay, I gotcha.
Because we had to include the same thing, but your personal answers will balance.
They'll check them. I gotcha. That's good.
Yeah, it freaked me out the first time I've used Turnitin.com, years ago. When that happened, and I was like, wait, what the hell do you mean?
Yeah, I got nervous too because like it's the only grade I don't have, and I was like, that's weird.
So because we talked about skimming, and some of us had time to do the whole thing, but did everyone turn in their notes assignment?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it turned in tonight, but I did talk to her about it. I was like, listen, I am distressed, but it's okay. It's fine. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Notes from like the last meeting. I didn't think that we had to turn them in. But
I thought we didn't have to turn them in either, but
that's what I thought. But then I went back and I went and filled it out and turned it in because I didn't know. At first, I didn't even fill anything out. Okay. But yeah, I went back and filled it out because it said there was a grade for it. I was like, uh-oh.
That's what I was confused.
She did confirm you should have then, Amber, after you're caught up, one for our initial meeting, one for today's meeting, and then the one for the content or the charter one that we're doing next. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was confused.
Okay, that's good to know.
So like if you go into the modules, they're 1.4 and 2.4. Mm-hmm. 2.4 is for this meeting.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm gonna guess charter is gonna be like 3.4, 2. Okay. Something.
I can tell you, I have the schedule. Tis
to the rescue.
Yes. Let's see here. This one's 2.4 assignment. So it should be 2.5 is the reading notes for the second one that needs to be turned in.
Okay.
And that will be due by our next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Just clarifying.
So at our next meeting, we'll do our the charter assignment, and then we'll also do the psychological contract. Is that what I'm understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I know that like because we're still, I guess, trying to get the hang of the class and everything. I think that has a part in us not like, I guess, fully reading everything. But is there anything else that we can be doing as a group to kind of help hold each other accountable to make sure that we're coming prepared?
I was gonna suggest, I don't know, because I was so confused, like Amber, I wasn't sure. Like I had an image that we had something else to do, not what we were doing today. So I was thinking maybe on the group chat we can just like bullet points, like, guys, have everything. Like we're gonna do this
prior. Oh, yeah. Like check in prior. Okay, that's
so the way
we can.
Yeah.
or whoever is going to be facilitating check-ins. Like, okay, guys, this is what we're going to be doing, is like a preview of our agenda.
Okay.
Hey,
That sounds good.
that's in the textbook.
Ooh, look at that. And I only skimmed it, y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that idea. Awesome. So,
Cool.
and we already went through, everybody either submitted their notes or has plans to submit them.
Mhm.
So moving on to number 6, we're going to go through and review Dr. Chanley's feedback from our initial meeting.
I thought it was personal, guys. I thought I had one for me and everybody had, and then I started reading. It's like, oh, it's everybody. Cool. My name was right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess, do we want to should I read the whole thing or?
Well, has everybody read it before yet or no?
Oh, I read it multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. Everybody else? A lot of mutes.
Okay. Marina, have you read it?
Yes.
Okay. Aaron, have you read it?
No, I thought I was I was talking. I thought I was unmuted. No, I have not read it yet. I actually did not know where to find it.
Got it.
Did you
Do
find
you know
it now?
Do you know where it is now? So go to your grade book and then go to your team meeting, and there'll be a little sidebar that says notes. It's like a little paper
Oh,
icon.
okay.
And it'll bring a whole on essay because we were terrible.
Oh no.
No.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was for me only because my name was first, and I was like, oh my gosh.
No, I think 3 of us are named in here, so.
Okay.
Okay, after we all read it, do we all just want to go through and make one note about it or something?
Yeah, just start screaming.
I'll go first since my name was first. Ah, I don't know.
Cheyenne, what are we doing?
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Okay, I'm just gonna read it because we need to fill time, I feel like. So
Do you want a popcorn paragraphs?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to find it. Is
You
it
haven't found
on
it
the-
yet?
All right, I found it.
Okay, cool. Since there's a lot of paragraphs, let's do 2 paragraphs. And
Okay.
so, good. Yeah, throw it right off. That's great. Isadora, do work on the audio because your voice tends to the soft side, so your volume has to be loud enough to catch the subtleties. And your dogs are very cute. And Aaron.
And then just to be clear, it isn't an easy A. I don't remember who said that. There's lots of work to do in preparation for the meeting, and you have to participate, not just showing up. Paul.
So on the following agenda, be sure you do. Can you hear me?
It cut out for a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me start over. That was weird. I got a weird feedback. So on the following agenda, be sure you do that all the way. Don't skip over parts of the prompts and do the complete icebreakers. That's the facilitator's job and all of the members too. I don't count off this first meeting, but do as you move through the course. One thing to discuss is how you want to manage the discussion so there aren't so many dead silent spots. Let's popcorn Amber.
Yes, let's. One thing the teams did last session agreed that when one person finishes their point, they pick someone else to go and call them by name. So I'd finish and say, okay, John, do you want to go next? And then also it says the Arizona Board of Regents policy is that for 3 credit hour undergraduate class students, the average should spend 135 hours or for a 7.5 week course. That's about 18 hours each week. Ooh.
Which we were super off by.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say.
Marina, did you go already?
No, I have not. Amber, good call to actually look at the syllabus. I see that happens a lot in these meetings when the team is supposed to, for example, go over the instructions for the next meeting. They do it by memory and guessing instead of just stopping and looking at the instructions. If everyone had the relevant documents open, that also might help. To all, be sure you are paying attention to the facial expressions on everyone's faces. Amber looked a bit confused and several times wasn't quite on the same page as each of you, but no one was paying attention to her. Paul finally jumped in and offered his help, which to her credit she accepted. Good job, Paul. Wait, who hasn't read yet?
Me.
Isadora.
Alright. If y'all are going to switch roles to every module, then the next meeting is module 2. Amber, the next meeting is not the module 1 part 2. It's module 1 learning materials part 1. Mine is so short. Okay, I don't know. Cheyenne goes next, right? It's starting again.
Consider using doodle.com for scheduling or any program that works for you. If you're going to do Thursdays and Sundays, then Thursday would be the content and Sundays would be the assignment discussion. But mostly I think you've got the information about a second meeting in module 1 wrong, and that's throwing you off. Aaron.
Okay, one interesting observation, or I think interesting anyway. All of you are sitting close to your cameras except Amber, who is sitting farther back from hers. It is almost like she's in a different meeting than the rest of you, and it looked like she wasn't really part of the in-group. Go to Marina.
At any rate, great meeting, I thought. Suggestions for the next meeting. Everyone should have the agenda open on their computer so they can follow along with the facilitator. Be conscious that everyone is being included. Follow the agenda fully. Keep up the good attitudes about the meeting and having good senses of humor. Come to the meetings prepared by having completed the readings and videos. Dr. Chainley.
So now that we've gone through and reviewed it, I guess, does each person want to make a comment on something that she noticed? Go for it, Paul.
So I wanted to obviously, Amber, address that moment of lost. I apologize because I would assume what happened to me happened to a lot of people. I wasn't looking at us for a lot. I was reading the agenda and writing the quiz and looking through the syllabus. And then I came back to this screen and went, oh, hey, these faces, there's something wrong. So that's why it took me so long to jump in. I feel like
appreciate it. Thank you. And mind you, I don't know that I knew that I was completely off. I was just trying to catch up, honestly.
I never know when I'm lost. So,
and I think that the issue is that I had the wrong agenda because there were multiple agendas, and I asked, "Is this the agenda from this date?" And I think that I was not looking at one. So
I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
That is okay. As I'm thinking back, I'm like, oh, I remember asking questions, but it's okay.
I think we are all confused on the first meeting because that's how I was. I was like, because I felt like I was lost and I don't know why it keeps popping you. I was like, no, I was lost, guys, because I was looking. I was like, am I following them? Like, I want to follow you guys. I don't want to be behind. I was like, I don't want to be that person. So I was like, make sure I'm making notes now of every single thing we're doing so that way I'm like on the same page. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'll get easier as this is only the second meeting, so I think 4 or 5 in we'll be like we're pretty good.
I think what also threw us off is that we went into this meeting thinking that this was going to be considered the second meeting, but this is technically the first content meeting.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
I really think that's exactly it because I thought we were doing like the charter,
because it is technically the second meeting. But
our first one, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I know she commented on audio issues and that type of stuff, and I feel like that we just worked out those kinks from the first one, and I feel like we're all ready to rock and roll now.
Except for whatever that teapot thing is.
No, I hear that.
I still don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
Yeah.
Sounds
it's
like
not
some type of strange dying animal.
Yeah.
I hope not. I don't know.
Has to be one of us.
I mute myself and don't hear it, so I don't know if that.
Everybody mute themselves right now.
Wait. Okay. Yeah.
Isadora.
I think it's Isadora.
Yeah.
How is it me? But louder, guys.
Yeah, it's totally. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. I know what it is. It's my diffuser.
Oh.
That's
wait,
it.
is that a hippo?
Oh yeah, my sister gave it to me. She works at Build-A-Bear.
It's not a bear.
It's a bear. It just has clothes and all of that.
I'll go next though, guys.
Yeah, please.
I cannot get any closer to my camera. I have a workstation at home and my camera is in my computer. I have a dual screen. I have my station in a way that's comfortable for me to be able to look at multiple items when I'm working on work. So I apologize. This is as in as I can get. Okay.
You're
There we
part
go.
of my in-group.
Yeah, you're good. I didn't even
Good.
think about that.
Thanks,
So.
guys. So I apologize if I feel like I was not engaged, but I'm here.
No, not at all.
It didn't come across that way.
Okay, good. Okay. Also, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna make a point about what she said. I think that doodle thing might actually be really helpful instead of all of us like
Sure.
spending the last 20 minutes of the meeting trying to plan out the next one. I don't know how it works, or I haven't tried it yet, but I think it might be a good
register for
idea.
it. I've not had any success yet, but I will definitely try again this evening or tomorrow and try and see if I can get it going. Is everyone going to just use their ASU email for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure I'm in it because I didn't got the first email. That's why I texted
I was
you.
missing
Like,
a
wait.
T on the last part of your name from the email.
Gotcha.
I added it in now, and I corrected it in my phone book. So sorry.
Okay. You're good. Okay, so I'll try that too because I couldn't download it either.
Okay, also I just looked. Doodle has an app, so
Oh, well, I'm gonna download it.
I'm definitely doing that app.
I'll do that as well then,
Cool.
immediately.
Okay, my comment from the feedback is I think that when I read like the part about following the agenda and everything, especially like since I'm facilitating this one, definitely made sure to like go through and read it a little bit more thorough than I did last time. And then I feel like everybody else has like read it as well. And so I think so far like our meeting's going a lot smoother than the first one did. So kudos.
I even kind of laughed because that whole comment about not skipping the icebreaker. We even said that we were skipping the icebreaker, and then we just didn't stop ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's not on you, like alone. It's definitely us.
No, it's okay. We like halfway did it, so it
Mhm.
kind of counts.
All right, my computer's gonna die, so I'm gonna go off screen really quick and grab my charger because I was stupid. So, someone's in your room.
What?
Cat literally
Who?
just opened my door.
Oh my.
I'm sorry.
Stop.
Listen,
I'm
guys,
right now, so
I'm
I'm scared.
easy. Okay.
Wait,
Found
can I
it.
tell you guys a quick story? So like this house, like an old lady died in it a year and a half ago, and then like just moved into the house a year ago. She literally died in the house. So like there could be spirits walking around here.
Is your rent like $5? Like
She lives. No way.
Okay, cool. Any other comments on the feedback from Dr. Chinley?
I do. I said I like an easy A, and I think it was taken out of context. I was not saying that no work was involved, for the record. I'm just saying if you do the work, then it is easy. Outside of needing to understand, it's not like it's math or chemistry, which y'all I did struggle with, but those are behind me. So here we are.
Okay.
I didn't
So-
think that way, so
Okay.
Did you guys download the thing? Because there's so many. Am I just downloading the first one on the app?
It's literally like a lowercase like D.
Yeah.
like a
Okay, I was
blue
gonna say, is
D.
it like this? That's it? That's how I'm downloading?
yeah, that's what I
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Just want to make sure.
So let's move on to number 7. And so we're gonna go through and review the agenda and make any needed changes. So these changes may include additional readings or videos, changes as a result of Dr. Chanley's feedback or modifications due to preparedness. I think right off the bat, number 8, which is the psychological contracts, we're gonna move that to the next one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is there anything else on the agenda that y'all think needs to be switched? I'm gonna pull up.
Was there any specific readings or videos that anyone didn't do? Because then we could probably move that one over.
No.
Okay.
As far as what needs to be reviewed, there are the A through D. Okay.
Yes.
I would say I'm okay even having spent just kind of breezing through the information, I feel pretty comfortable. If we
Yeah, the material was like you could skim it and do pretty solid on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, especially the chapters. It
yeah,
was
this
very.
thing.
Yeah, that's a
I feel like you
doozy.
don't like it. Why are you throwing it? Tell me how you feel about that. I'll throw that in there because I did get that. Okay.
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 Any other comments on the agenda?
No.
So we're going to skip number 8. It's going to be moved on to the next agenda. So number 9 is discussing the readings and the videos. And then we have like prompts for like each one. So starting with the first point, from the textbook, chapter 2, what were two...
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay.
I just deleted something. I'm sorry.
Oh no. What were the 2 most important lessons about teams that you learned from the reading? Marina, do you want to go first?
I would love to. Okay, from chapter 2, the 2 things I picked up. So first, I thought it was interesting that they were talking about how like virtual teams that meet face to face perform a lot better than teams that never meet. And while technically we're not meeting face to face, we're meeting every week on this platform, which is very similar to face to face. So I feel like that's going to help our team unity and performance. Secondly, the other thing I thought was interesting was that virtual teams that held more developmental sessions performed way better than those that didn't. So that's why I think at the very end of this session, or at the end of our talks, whenever on the agenda we have the spot for talking about things we can like do better next meeting, I think those are super important because they'll help our overall team performance. Isadora.
Cool. I literally made a bullet points of everything, and I like the challenges ones. I even highlighted on the book. I think I was kind of like shocked that one of them, what was it? Like difficulties in building and collaborating atmosphere virtually. I was like, well, we're pretty good at that. So I was like, maybe because we all like trying to get into the same subject. So that was like one thing that on chapter 2 that got me like, wow, we are pros at those. We got that. And sometimes my communication can be hard to understand because English is not my first language, and I saw that communication is like one of the most important skills on the virtual part of this text thingy. And I was like, guys, I'm sorry if like there's something lacking, just please let me know and that would work better on it. I'm sorry. But yeah, sorry. Aaron?
You're on mute.
Sorry. I was freaking out earlier because I deleted the notes. So I was like, oh no, I got to pull those back up. So I said for the 2 most important lessons, I thought it was interesting that virtual teams are more effective when you control like certain things like, the team size or like the skill development, because if you have a bunch of different things going on, it's going to keep everyone like not together. And then I also thought it was important to think about communication and leadership more specifically in a virtual team, because I think it's important that we all lead the team like together, because if one person's just doing it, they're going to feel very not team like. So Marina.
I just went.
Amber. My bad.
That's okay. Did you say Amber?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So for me, not necessarily new information from the chapter, but something that I agree with, that smaller teams are going to be more effective as far as collaboration and being able to coordinate and communicate. I know that trying to schedule a meeting with, 20 people on a day where we're all virtually present would have been much more difficult. And then also teams with similar functions, I agree with that, that when you have a meeting between IT and an HR, it's going to be a more difficult and longer process because the means of communication or the the ways in which are communicated are going to be different because of their particular job function and expertise. So having to bridge the gap when there are differences, I know that that does make it for a longer process and therefore bringing the productivity down. So I just agree with those two things though.
Cool.
Cheyenne.
Thank you. For me, the first point was the idea that teams can be too large. I think that in certain scenarios, like we think that the more people, the better when it comes to like coming up with ideas and collaboration, because obviously if you have more people, then you're gonna have more ideas. And sometimes I think it takes that back and forth between several people to like nail down the best idea. But in this situation, like I felt the text was saying that like the large teams leaves opportunity for work levels to be like unequally distributed. So in larger teams, it's easier for people to get away with doing nothing because there's so many other people to carry the team. And so I just like that point of it. And then the second one, this isn't really new, but I just like the emphasis that it put on it was being prepared helps in using time wisely. So by creating an agenda and having everyone have access to it and the ability to do their research on it prior to the actual meeting, we don't spend time in our meeting, like wasted time in our meeting while people go through and they read it and figure out what they think and process their thoughts. We're able to come to the meeting and just like have everything. So it makes time go by. We don't have as much dead space when we do it that way. Awesome. So let me pull up the next one. Everybody shared, yeah? Just kidding. Hey, Paul.
It's because I'm an Android, right? It's cool. It's whatever.
That is exactly it. Absolutely.
So I totally agree with what Cheyenne just said. I highlighted a lot of the same stuff that you guys mentioned. Like Aaron took stole it from me. The team size one being so important. But the one that I thought was really interesting was that the higher performers like specifically highlighted communication as a value, whereas the lower performers didn't even register, oh hey, our communication's tripping us up. It didn't even like hit their radar that was an issue, and it threw me off because it's something I take for granted that I communicate all the time, you know. But it was good to read out of all the other nonsense in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, Shia.
Cool. Everybody has shared now, correct? Awesome. So moving on for chapter 7, what was one thing you will incorporate into your meeting facilitation when it's your time to play the role as the facilitator? Amber, would you like to go first?
Yes. I think that at the beginning of a meeting, I like to just touch point. These are the things that we're going to be addressing today. Start and then going through things. But that for me just keeps everyone on task and they know what we're going to be reviewing next. And then also as things change or if there are things that are being addressed, if they change, and make sure to reiterate, confirm, get a consensus that everyone is on the same page. And then again, at the conclusion of a meeting, we'll confirm that everyone is on the same page. Aaron, you want to go next?
Sure. I didn't so in my notes, I didn't really think about this as far as our meetings, but I said that I'll make sure everyone is communicating with each other in a respectful manner and everyone's opinions will be taken into account, which I think we've all been doing. So, that's a pretty straightforward answer right there. Let's go with Paul.
Definitely agree with what you guys said, and kind of combining of the one that I wanted to highlight was the topic of process intervention. And, just the way you see it is when everyone in the group is comfortable and confident in kind of contributing to that intervention facilitator process, the more efficient the whole group becomes. Because it's hard, like Amber was saying, for one person to be on top of everybody else, even if it's in a small team. But if everybody in the team can chip in and say, hey, we're getting a little off topic, or, oh, hey, Aaron didn't get to speak up just yet, everything starts to glide on by. And I think that was really cool. Let's go with Marita.
The thing I said I would incorporate like structure into my facilitation. I can't think if my thoughts aren't organized or my notes aren't organized. Like I can't be on bar with someone who keeps like 10 nooks on the counters. So structure is something I kind of need in my life. So, and I know last meeting it was kind of like messy and all over the place. And I thought that was how all meetings were going to be. But honestly, this meeting has been like so structured and I love that. So I think it was just like because it was our first meeting. But yeah, I would definitely incorporate structure. Cheyenne.
So what I marked was, so on like page 132, if I won't be fancy, it talks about how facilitators should share their thoughts like towards the end. And I know from the last meeting, like because I'm used to when I ask a question, whether I'm leading like a small group or something, I usually answer first just to kind of like get the ball rolling. So I don't like dead space or whatever. But what stuck out to me in this chapter is it's like the facilitator should go last and then try, depending on like what we're talking about, pose it as like, okay, what if situation, pose it as like a what if question or whatever. So I've been trying to apply that this meeting. But yeah, that's it for me.
You're doing an excellent job as a guinea pig.
Thanks. Go for it, Isadora.
Okay, the ones that I put, you guys pretty much already said the ones that I highlighted, but I also put that, like, I didn't know about the facilitators, that they have the key elements that we should, like, always check to make sure we all got the key points. So I think for me that, like, having the facilitator as, like, an active, like, participant and having the key points was something that I was like, wow, I guess if I get to be facilitator, I need to have that so I know where we follow, you know? So that's one of the things that I got for the chapter 7, besides everything else everybody says, like, oh my gosh, I need to find something because you guys keep saying some things that I already taught. But okay.
Awesome, thank you. Did anybody want to, everybody went, correct? Okay, does anybody want to add anything before we move on to our next discussion, please? Cool. So on the George, sorry, my voice just got weird. On the George Washington University website, in the section on jumpstarting teams, there were some recommendations for how to develop a team that will be temporary, as this one is, and then what suggestions from that did you find most useful? And Paul, will you start us off, please?
Sure. So this is one of the things I kind of prepared as a challenger, or at least it might be a challenger because this is how I felt, and I think it's a little harsh, maybe. But like sections 1, 2, 3, and 5 didn't really hold a lot for me. Like they didn't come across as suggestions. It just felt like describing what we were already doing and what the syllabus already said. It was kind of like when you go and look up a definition of a term and the definition uses the term you're trying to figure out what it means. I actually thought section 4 was really useful, the full breakdown on how like team interaction and communication works. I thought that was the most important part from that tab, personally. Let's go over to Aaron.
Okay, so I unmuted myself this time. I put it's important to make sure you're actively listening to questions and concerns from teammates and truly understand what they need. Knowing how to interact with your team will create a positive environment for everyone to feel comfortable sharing ideas. If everyone is respectful and listens to everyone's opinions, it will really help our virtual team strive. Let's do Amber.
Okie dokie. So of the suggestions that I thought would be most useful is speaking up. And I would say this is true for me just in general, especially in school and work. If I'm not clear, I will ask questions just to make sure that I'm fully understanding. And I think that if we are not comfortable asking questions, remember that there are no wrong ones. Unless you're just not asking and the assumption is that you already know, which if you assume or if the assumption's there, then you're held accountable for things that you don't necessarily know about. And how will anyone know if you're not asking questions about it and getting clarification further? So I think that for me, it's just, we want to confirm and speak up about what we do and do not understand, even if it's just to confirm, okay, I understand what you said, and reiterate back to confirm. Isadora.
Cool, because I was like, please pick me, because I actually picked that same one, like this pick me, because I feel like I was not following the same train as everybody. So for me, that's I might ask 100 times the same question because I want to make sure I'm getting the point. And then I'm honestly, the way I see is like I want to have an honest conversation, like they were mentioning on the thing, and I'm asking myself. Just for me, I just want to be clear 100% because at work, I think it has to really. I have to be clear to my peers 100%. When I ask them to do something, I have to be clear exactly what he's doing. So I want to make sure I'm doing the same thing. So treat me like as a peer, please. Make sure I'm like 100% clear what we're doing. And I think that's one of the things that I got from the chapter, from the George Washington. Marina.
So I actually did speaking up too. So as we've all kind of touched on, communication is fundamental in every team. And for us, we're like a jump-started team. So we haven't really had a chance to like form those bonds naturally. We just kind of had to like create them. And so speaking up is like ensuring that you're making sure you're on the same page as everybody. Cheyenne.
I guess kind of going along that theme seems to be pretty popular, but I specifically chose like where it talked about integrate and it like gave that definition. I found that most useful because it talked about like taking responsibility and identifying challenges, opportunities, solutions, etc. And I feel like that's really important to just like speak up in that situation. Because I know for me, it takes a while to get used to like a group of people and get comfortable with them and like be willing to like speak up. But because, I mean, this is a 7-week class, we're going to have 14 meetings. I mean, honestly, in real life, it'd probably take me 14 meetings to even speak up, but we can't be doing that here. And so just being willing to like go, I guess, head first into this and just be willing to speak up about it. Erin, have you gone yet? Paul, have you gone yet? Who hasn't gone? Has everybody gone?
Yes.
I think everyone went.
Okay, cool. Anybody want to add anything before we move on to the next item? Okay. So, and then finally, on the website in the 2 sections on trust and fostering communication cooperation, what was your biggest takeaway from those readings? And then how can these be integrated into our team norms? And Amber, will you start us off, please?
Yes. So the trust, let's see here, from 1, 2, 4, and 5, correct? For me, I would say that transparency is an essential point of success. Sometimes there's not really time to beat around the bush or tiptoe around what needs to be addressed, especially when you're dealing, not necessarily in a classroom, but when you're handling business, you don't have time to worry about hurt feelings. Tell me what it is so that I can address it and we can move forward and make sure that we are, hitting the marks that we need to address. Also, I would say that blame is an unproductive process, honestly, because we all make mistakes, absolutely. I would say that acceptance of an acknowledgement of an error and being able to, okay, hold myself accountable. You guys, this is my error. How do I go about correcting it is, I would say, a building block in trust, because your peers can see, okay, this person is willing to be vulnerable, acknowledge that, okay, they've made an error and now we can move forward. This is going to help facilitate in the future us either avoiding this initially or us being able to address it quicker even in the process. Marina.
I took some notes on curiosity. I liked that it kind of talked about how curiosity can be used in the sense that like you're curious to know what other people are thinking, and that increases participation within the group. So yeah. Isadora.
I was like in all the pages. I got the one like the be specific, because for me that's a big thing. So like the share what you know, like what you do. Like I just wanna like share everything that I understood and make clear 100%. And then I think with the video, I love the doggy, but yeah, I think that's what I got the most, like with acting, like, am I clear? Am I getting the point? Like, are we following the same agenda? Are we just on track? So I think that's Paul.
So I liked this one a lot, and for a lot of the reasons you guys brought up, the staying true to being honest and sharing of relevant info, because nobody benefits from somebody being behind on the team. We all want to be together. I really like that they took time to highlight the say no concept, because I've been in teams where someone would just keep saying yes because they felt like they didn't want to let anybody down, and then all of a sudden they're bogged down because the team didn't notice they had all of the responsibility because they just kept saying yes. But it's incredibly healthy and important to say, hey, you know what, I've got a lot on my plate. Maybe we can delegate this elsewhere, but I'll still do all my other tasks, I thought it was good that they highlighted that, because I've seen some people just ignore it.
Yeah. No, even today in a team meeting, they were like, Amber, are you going to do that? No, I'm not.
Good. Yes. That's where it is. Good. Yeah. Forgive me. Who hasn't gone?
I have not gone.
Okay, I was going to call on you or Cheyenne. Oh, I guess I was right. Cool. Cheyenne, because I picked Aaron the first time.
Okay.
Okay, so my takeaway from it was basically the same as you, Paul. I really like the saying no concept, just because I know personally, like, I am that person, just pile it on, but really, like, it's important for us to set those boundaries, and, like, we're a team, so, like, we need to be helping each other out, and I don't know, we need to develop that, I guess, trust within our teams. That way we feel comfortable enough to say no and say, like, okay, I don't understand this, or, like, I have too much going on, like, I need help, whatever it may be. Aaron, go for it.
Am I unmuted? Okay. So I put, without trust, your team cannot succeed. It allows everyone in the team to be open about their ideas without feeling like they'll be ridiculed. And I think that's important, because I've been in teams where I feel like I can't even, like, say my opinion, because everyone's just going to be like, well, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. So, like, I mean, and even if that's the case, like, that's still not how you should be treating people's opinions and stuff. Like, it's really important that everyone's ideas and feelings are shared, and you don't feel like you can't do that. So, because without that, you're not even really a team.
I want you to know that you can say anything you want as long as it's not about the ukulele.
I'll have to play a song for you.
You do not have to play a song.
Oh, I think I will.
I have my uke somewhere around here. We can all do a song together.
We're about to whip out all our ukuleles. Just start playing them for Paul.
I don't have one.
I'm just going to transfer to
I don't have one
Northern
either.
I'll go to, oh God.
Who brought their dogs to the scene? Any other comments on?
I did want to comment, because I remember from our initial meeting, Cheyenne, you said that you did a group project by yourself. And I'll have to be honest with you, dear. I hope that never happens to you again, from what we learned over this.
I was traumatized by that.
I can imagine you were. I would have been extremely distressed and irate, and I would have had much to say to whomever was the instructor for that course.
I would have ruined those students.
I hope you did a good job on your peer feedback forms, is all I mean. Mm-hmm.
You're a nicer person than I.
Awesome. So moving on to number 10. We didn't specifically address what was it? The 3 pillars of a teaming culture. What else? Team dynamic items from the notes, and then working with others, developing trust and cooperation. There aren't, like, prompts to that, but does anybody have any, like, comments or thoughts on, I guess, these 3 items?
I want to, for the 3 pillars of teaming culture, That article, I kind of liked that one because it talked about how it's really easy to think about yourself in a team setting, but putting yourself in their shoes and thinking about how they feel like actually really helps make the team culture a lot better. Because it's really easy to think, oh, I need to get all this work done, but if you think, oh, did everyone else get their work done? That also would really help everyone, and that's that'll be good for us, like making sure in the group chat that we all did the homework before the meeting and stuff like that.
Definitely agree. Like
Yeah.
I think it offers a really nice balance between like always saying no and then no offense, Cheyenne.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I wanted to specify this passage from the same article, if that's cool. I just really like this quote about it, and it's when you're concerned about yourself, you tend to be less interested in others, less passionate about your shared cause, and unable to understand different points of view. And I think it just knocks it out of the park, though. Not being open-minded, not trying to support each other. I just liked it. Sorry, Cheyenne.
It's okay. I mean, somebody had to say it, so.
Yeah, one thing I noticed is when I was going through all of the readings and stuff, I felt like, I was like, yeah, our team does that. I didn't really feel like it's like, oh, we don't communicate, or, oh, like, you know what I mean? I feel like we all vibe together well, so, yeah.
I was going to say, I lost it.
I did have something to share.
Oh, one thing that I really liked was from the working with others, developing trust and cooperation, was I like the elements of group communication that contribute to this, and just like the emphasis on communication in general, active listening, body language, and then group interaction. And one thing that I've noticed from like the past 2 meetings is like, I feel like so far, like our group is doing really well with this. Like, we're all contributing to the conversation. I feel like we're actively listening to each other and like building off of each other. We're recognizing body language. And when somebody seems confused, like we're willing to just kind of jump in. And then, I don't know, we're just bouncing back and forth. So group interactions, I think, I don't know, it was cool. Anyway.
Sorry. There's a train behind
The train
me.
going by.
Yeah, sorry. It's all the tourists that come into Alaska.
I live right by the train tracks, and I love it. It makes me fall asleep.
I don't like it at all, but
I was gonna say, I feel like it would keep me up.
yeah. Yeah. I have everything here, guys. Everything.
Any other thoughts, comments, or anything else from the notes or the readings?
Yes. For the reading, as far as how Julie was having conversations with individuals, I think that it's something to remember. Is everyone an organizational leadership or communication major? So something to remember, that communication with a peer is going to be a lot different than it is with a subordinate. And when you go into a position of leadership, I think it's important to remember that you need to not necessarily disarm, but to put at ease someone who's going to be a subordinate of yours, so that they do feel comfortable having an open-ended conversation, and that you are addressing them with questions that they're not able to just answer with a yes or no, but asking them open-ended questions. And even when dealing with subordinates or peers, you're getting to learn them. Asking them open-ended questions gives them a chance to engage with you. And I know that a lot of people don't naturally do that. So it is something that I've definitely had to work on, but definitely can see a difference between interactions with new people, because they're, oh, she's listening to what I've had to say. That's exciting. Okay.
True.
Definitely. Like, there's something both heartbreaking but also very uplifting when you realize that you're talking to someone who's finally feeling heard.
Yeah.
Like, you're glad you can give it to them, but you're upset that nobody else has yet.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to fall into the asking yes or no questions mindset, because it's easier to just ask something that has a yes or no question than a question that actually requires, like, thought. So,
well, I would say the circumstance too will have, a bearing on where is this appropriate. We're not going to have a 10-minute conversation in passing, but
Well, I think working at Starbucks and having so much people to lead, sometimes I think that follows into like that's why I picked leadership because there's like that's why I was like I have to be clear 100%. I understand what I want them to do right now, and then sometimes I have a lot of new people, and then I'm like, guys, okay, I have to take a step back. It's like, okay, it's easy for me, maybe not for them, so I take a breathe, and I was like, let me ask, what are you doing? How are you doing? And how can I help you? And I have to keep doing that all the time. And then I think I'm doing that in the class. I think I'm the newbie in there. It's like, hey, am I doing this? Can you guys just ask me what, why? Like all of that so I can get that.
I feel like the more passionate she was talking, the louder the teapot got.
I know, right?
It's off. I turned it off.
I can
don't
still
even
hear
have
it.
It's
I
off.
keep wanting to say, like, Isadora, your tea's ready.
I would like some
He's
tea
not
as well.
going.
Like,
Something
Earl
else
Grey
then,
for the
guys.
record, okay?
I think our
Something
first
else.
meeting, I was worried that it was your dog whining or something.
Maybe
Like,
it's my computer.
I was
Maybe.
worried.
Maybe it's my computer because now my thing is off. I turned it off. I was like, I'm going to turn it off. I was going to ask, can you guys still hear my teapot even though it's not a tea?
But you can't hear it?
No.
Oh, maybe it's your
It must be your computer then, because when you're muted, I don't hear it.
It's Cheyenne's ghost. It's in the house.
It's in my house. Oh,
It's
no.
in the video.
Oh, weird. Well, don't send it over here, y'all. I scared you.
No, it's in my video apparently. It's off. I don't know what it is. Maybe because this house is old. I don't know.
Oh, goodness. Sorry.
So moving on to number 11. Anybody have questions for Dr. Chanley?
I did, but I called her earlier, and I think that we are all now on the same page, so yay.
Yeah, I don't have any. I can't think of anything off the spot unless you guys do.
I don't have any questions for Dr. Chanley, but I do just want to clarify. So for our next meeting, we are going to be doing module 2 content, like discussion or whatever, and then we're going to be doing the charter in the meeting.
So it is a team meeting for an assignment.
Right.
The second meeting.
As
Yeah, this is content.
This is the current, yes. And then
Sorry.
no, you're fine. I'm just clarifying, girl. I'm reading it directly from
Yeah.
the page. So yes, it is a team charter assignment, and we're also going to then address the psychological contract during our next meeting. So I guess we'll do that first, and then jump into the charter.
Okay. Since I'll still be the submitter for this module, I'll probably start our Google Docs like maybe tonight or like within the next day or something.
Okay.
Or whenever I'm getting prepared for the meeting. So just so you guys know, if you guys see that, I'm not starting to work on it. I'm just starting the Google Doc so it's ready for the next meeting.
Cool.
Do we think that, because I know we mentioned the facilitator being the one to like use the group chat to say, hey, make sure you do this. Do we think maybe the submitter should do that? Because we can include links in the Google Doc if we have to link directly to something.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, so that way we can just, check it on our Google Doc, say, oh, hey, look, Marina included this checkoff list before our next meeting. Oh, and this is a link. I can go right to it.
Oh, okay.
Or should the facilitator do it just because they have the agenda and whatnot?
What is
Well,
the
we all-
mode in which it's going to be communicated, via text or the Google Doc?
Well, I think that's what kind of goes with it, what varies.
I mean, I think it would almost be easier to have it be in the text, because I know for me, like, it wouldn't be my first, Google Docs wouldn't be my first thing to turn to make sure that I had everything done. I'm going to have my phone with me more often, and so I think that'd be easiest for me, but I'm open to whatever.
No, that makes total sense, yeah.
And I was going to ask for the next meeting, it's the team charter one, but that's still doing, let's see, what is it? It's the learning materials part 2 for team discussion meeting, team assignment discussion meeting.
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I was looking at it earlier, and so I think essentially what we have to do before the next meeting is do the notes for the content for the next meeting and turn that in. And then secondly, she said that we should all kind of start looking at the template she gives us for the charter and just make personal notes about what should be included in each section, but not to actually start the official charter, because we should do that as a team in the assignment meeting.
Okay.
Awesome. And then I just want to say this: if I like cut out at all, or if I like don't respond, my computer's been freezing. So like y'all have been cutting out like every couple minutes.
Oh no.
Response. It's probably because I didn't hear you because my thing's frozen.
It's the ghost. It's the
The
ghost.
Her name's Anne. So yeah.
Oh no.
Stop it, Anne.
Yes. Let's see. So, I didn't even see this on the agenda. So I'm on number 12. So how did the meeting go? And apparently there's a link that about team effectiveness. That says how a meeting went. I'm gonna pull it up really quick, just because I'm curious, and I apologize for not looking at it sooner.
No, I didn't see it either.
I don't know if I looked at that or not, but I know one of the resources was talking about how for the end of meeting discussions, like try not to have like open, like how'd it go? Try to have questions like, did everybody have ample time to speak? Like kind of yes or no questions, or, you know, like quantitative or qualitative. I don't know.
Ooh.
One of those big words.
Yeah, right?
Qualitative, I think, would be content related, and quantitative is a number, yay or nay.
Okay. Got that knowledge.
Because that was from a difficult course. There was no A in that one. I'm just saying. I did retain some of it, though.
I guess the website has like a lot of words on it, and so I don't want to take the time to read it right now.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But for this meeting, do you want to just do some simple questions, and then for future meetings we can base it off of that website that she said?
I will say, just kind of going over this website that you pointed out, we've kind of just personally brought a fair amount of this up throughout the meeting, so we were unknowingly on task.
Gold stars for everyone.
Yay.
So throughout this meeting, let me find it. Throughout this meeting, did everyone have a chance to speak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I felt like
me and my teapot had a chance to
Actually, I don't think Anne spoke yet. I don't think the ghost spoke yet.
Does not need to. I'll be completely honest. I'm okay with
did anybody feel like there were moments where they didn't feel heard or comments? Cool. Is somebody gonna say something?
Amber.
Oh, I wasn't. Marina?
Sorry, I was just confirming
sorry.
I felt heard. Sorry.
Oh.
Wanted to make sure that you felt heard in that moment.
Aw.
And then
Bruh, Cheyenne, you sent Paul with that one.
what just happened?
I have no idea. I missed it.
I'm so sorry.
So tickled. Oh my goodness. Well, don't mute yourself. We like laughter. Unmute it.
He's like, oh.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
All right. And then final question, do we feel as if everybody was actively listening?
Yes.
Yes.
Except for when I missed the joke, Paul, but that's okay.
I don't even think there was a joke. I don't think it was supposed to be. I don't think it was supposed to be funny. I don't know.
It tickled you. That's allowed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, do we feel that there are any changes needed for the next meeting based off of Dr. Chanley's feedback or anything that we've observed through this meeting? Well, I'll start by saying this, is we do have those changes for the agenda, and I have them written down with the psychological contract, and I think that was it that we needed to do the next meeting. So that's one change. Eric knows if there's any changes.
I have a question. I want to make sure I'm understanding. What
Hi, Mama.
exactly is it that the submitter is submitting?
Guys.
I think. Oh my gosh.
Hi. Oh my. Where's the tail?
Yes, she has no tail.
She has no
Oh,
tail. Have you guys
She's
seen the
super
Disney?
vocal.
And there's a Disney short cartoon where this cat is fighting with its tail and finally just chops it off. I'll have to show you.
But to answer your question, Amber, my understanding is that as the submitter for this module, I don't submit anything today, but for the next meeting, I'd be the one to submit the
The
charter.
charter. Okay.
But I think the host still submits the link.
The video. Got it.
That everyone else is understanding?
Yeah. Now, has everybody uploaded videos to YouTube before?
No.
So I would say I couldn't get it working because the standard upload is only 15 minutes long. So of course I was panicked. I was like, oh, good Lord. And then I got to looking at the Small House videos. I was like, you know what? There should be a way. So I had to have someone help me, but I fixed it. So yeah. So for the next,
Do you want to send us like a link of how to do that in case I have to do? Because I have no idea of how to do that.
you know,
And
it
if
gave me an error message, and then YouTube actually walked me through it. But you can go in proactively and change your upload settings beforehand. So that's why I was just mentioning that to whomever is going next.
Thank you.
Sure.
So, but you're submitting the link for today's video?
Yeah, I'll be able to upload it. Absolutely. I was just saying
Right, for the next
I have
host.
to change my settings, but because I tried to see if we could give access to our channel, but I mean, you wouldn't be able to access someone else's channel, so we'll each have to just create our own or just upload it to an existing channel that you already have.
right.
or
The only way to do that would be to share the login info. That's the only way to share an account. Yeah,
Okay.
that I know of.
Okie dokie. And since that's not an option,
Is that a name that we are putting on there, or I'm just putting virtual meeting and just upload it on YouTube?
I just labeled it the name of the meeting the last time.
Okay.
Also, the last time, I really did think I broke it, guys. All you got to do is hit end meeting, and it's going to shut it all down, but don't panic. I did panic for a minute. I was like, oh, God, I
That's
broke
You're
it.
like, oh no.
We have to re-record it all.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what happened, guys. I was like, let me calm down. So it's okay. So full disclosure to the next.
So any other changes we feel we need to make for the next meeting?
Do we want to specify where we're putting the site contract, or just kind of?
Wait, are we supposed to share it with each other? Or do we submit it and then?
Oh no, sorry. I mean, like, where in the agenda?
I get it.
Sorry.
It was up earlier.
Are we going to do it at the
Was it-
beginning of the next meeting to just
I
put it
think
in front after like our icebreaker, and that'd be the first thing?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Wait, do what?
So you know how we're? Oh,
Go ahead,
go
Paul.
ahead. So you know how we weren't able to do the site contract this meeting because so we decided to move it to the next meeting, and I was just asking where in the agenda we wanted to put that.
Okay,
discussion.
got it. Thank you.
So like
Oh,
Amber said to make it like the first after the icebreaker, which I think makes sense because it's technically overflow. It's like old business in a meeting.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Cool. If nobody has anything else to say, we will move on to the next one. So review the instructions for the next meeting and then set up roles, time, and a date. So I believe the instructions for the next meeting, I'm just gonna pull it up really quick to confirm. So instructions for the next meeting is when we come to the meeting, we should be prepared with the team submitter having the Google Doc set up and then having sent a link to everyone. And then we talked about this a little bit, just like reviewing it, having a few notes, but not starting it. And then for the rest of the team, just making sure that we're going through and reading the learning materials from that module and completing our notes and bringing it with us to that meeting. And I believe that is it for preparation for the next meeting.
So that one is 2.5, right? Just making sure. 2.5.
That's the 2.5 notes that you're going to turn in, and it's the
Okay.
agenda for the meeting assignment 2.2.
2.2.
And
Okay.
if everybody can, I would say maybe download and save a copy of this agenda and just copy and paste the contract into that portion, I guess,
Yes.
after number 4 or
Yeah.
after number 5.
Let me pull up that agenda real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, do we want to do it after the icebreaker or after we go through our preparedness?
I'd say icebreaker because the preparedness to me just feels like we're moving into the new material.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Is
put
that
it
cool?
in after number 4.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. And then I'm confused. Are we staying the same role?
So that's kind of what happened when we thought this was meeting 2, technically. So like this would be yours and Amber's like final. Oh, look at that cat. Like final time as host facilitator for Mod 2. But this is actually your first Module 2 meeting. So technically, I think we hold on to it, but obviously we can change it whenever we want.
Okay.
God, that's a cute cat. And I'm not supposed to like cats.
Guys,
Gosh, they're just loving the attention.
my
Oh
word.
my gosh.
For the agenda, I put it in as 4A just so it didn't throw off anybody else's numbers
Cool. 4A.
for the other agenda. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right on.
That way everything else still stays in line. I don't want us to be off.
So Cheyenne, are you solid on that, or did you want to change things around? Or?
No, I'm good with that.
Cool.
Everybody else feel good about staying in their
Yes.
role, and then the next meeting we'll go through and we'll swap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
The last thing to do is set up a time or a date. Are we just gonna go
Fine.
set it up through the doodle?
Yeah, I was actually trying to mess with it earlier. It seems really weird. I don't have like a mouse on me right now because I'm just using a trackpad, but like it seems really weird to mess with. But I don't know if we'll have time in this whole meeting to set that up. It seems really complicated. I mean, I'm sure it's just putting in your schedule and then everyone else's schedule is getting matched up, but I don't really know how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, do we want to just try and communicate it right now? I mean, the first time around we had a lot of trouble only because I think we were getting time zones thrown around and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now that we have a little bit understanding of that, and we understand that, like, especially people who work at Starbucks right now, it's hard to pin down a schedule right away.
Yeah.
But do we want to just try and knock it out real quick?
Yeah.
Mm.
So looking at the
Marina.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, quick poll. What's everyone's Sunday look like? Because I know that was one day we had discussed Thursdays and Sundays.
Cheyenne, you said you have to go to church during the morning, correct?
Yes. Okay, I will definitely make Sunday work if we have to. But if there's another day, my best friend's flying in from Boston that day. She's literally here for one day, so
I love Boston.
But
Monday's a holiday.
if Sunday's the only day that'll work, then I'll just
Wait, did you say Monday's a holiday?
Yeah, it's Labor Day.
We don't have holidays at Starbucks. We
Yeah,
work.
I was gonna say they don't care.
Yeah, I had to work Christmas, so
Yeah.
World.
Hey, but that extra money though.
it was awesome.
Tips. Wait, so what does everyone's Monday look like?
Yeah.
So,
I open.
I can start. I will be on Monday the 2nd. Or wait, that's not right. I don't know. It is, yeah. Okay, Monday the 2nd, I will be ready to do something at 3 p.m. Arizona time or later.
Okay.
So I close that night on Monday, so I work 2 to 10:30 my time. So that would be. I don't think I could make that meeting.
Yeah.
I do want to make sure I'm bringing to everyone's attention that we don't actually have to have that meeting until September 8th, or it does not have to be completed until September 8th. So I want to make sure that I
we do have time.
Make note of that for everyone. So it's not urgent that we even meet again this week so that everyone can have this weekend and Cheyenne can see her friend. How exciting.
You know, what's everybody doing in like 30 minutes? You want to just meet?
Let's just do it. Yeah, let's just start the next one.
Let's do all 14.
Okay.
Hey, why not?
Let's just marathon it right now.
Marathon.
Dude.
We read about talking about marathon meetings.
Oh yeah.
Well, sorry, burgeoning, but Sundays I have opening for like anything. Sundays I have openings, and then just any other day, you guys let me know, because like I say, Starbucks, it's weird schedule, but we can work on something.
Since I close and I'm ahead of you guys, like as long as it's after like 8 p.m. Arizona time, like I should be good, because as long as I'm like on weekdays, because as long I'm home by like 10:45. So like if we started at 11 my time, I mean that's totally fine. But yeah, it'd have to be after like 8 your guys' time.
Okay.
That's if it's later though. If it's on a day off or before that, I can do it. But then everyone else has to open, so it's kind of weird. And I don't want people to have to open to stay up super late, you know?
What's the earliest you guys would be able to do that Sunday?
Sunday.
Anytime Sunday.
I close Sunday, so I could do it early.
On Sunday, what's up?
Oh no, I was gonna say I thought you said something about Sunday mornings.
Yeah, on Sunday I open, so I work from 4:30 my time. So I work from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. Arizona time. So like 10 a.m. would be the soonest I could do it.
Does 10 work for everybody else?
It works for me, but like Amber said, this isn't an urgent meeting to set it right away. So if we want to just black out this coming Sunday, I think it won't hurt us.
Yeah.
That way, you know, it'll respect, you know, your plans, and especially with somebody coming in for one day, and we have a week to get this stuff done. I think we can miss a Sunday.
Do we have to have 2 meetings this week though? Because then
technically no. We're looking at the date, not necessarily the week. So the module is going from the 2nd of September. We're doing that meeting that needed to be done by September 2nd today. And then we don't actually have to have everything else completed until September 8th. So that is not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So even if we wanted to do next Thursday, we would still be in line with this module to be on time for it.
Yeah, we got time.
Okay.
I close Thursday.
Okay, well, no one asked you.
Okay, well, if we were complaining Thursday, I was just saying.
No, I was just using it as an example. Like we have time, and in all honesty, to get myself caught up, I would like to have more time to be able to read up, and then everyone be on the same page, because I'm lost in the sauce. So if I'm being completely honest, I would like to have, you know, into sometime next week rather than going into Sunday if we can.
Yeah, not to mention, like, the more time we have between meetings, if something like that happens, we can reach out to each other and clarify things even before the meeting happens. So. Yeah.
Can I say 2 quick things? Sorry. I don't want to get too. They're both like Debbie Downer things, but first, I don't want to get like too like. I'm totally fine if we have to do the next meeting on the 8th, but like I'm a little bit apprehensive about like starting to do all of the video discussions like when they're due, because then if something happens or if somebody can't make it, I'd feel bad if somebody couldn't make it because we had to have the meeting because it was due the next day.
Definitely.
But also I'm like easy, so I'm here to do it when everyone can do it. Second thing is, I live in Florida, and the hurricane, I'm like right in the hurricane's path. I don't know if you guys like have heard about that. So there's a good chance, a very likely chance, I won't have power like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Well, I live in evacuate.
What?
Are you gonna have to evacuate?
So we might get an easy A after all if Marina doesn't know. Takes one for the team.
Well, I don't know. My parents are like, you need to email your instructors. And I'm like, Mom, they don't care. Like, they're going to tell me to do the assignments early. But
there is something in the syllabus going, because I think that this is like an extenuating circumstance, like except
yeah. Like
It's a freaking storm. Yeah.
I was in Florida for Irma, so like I understand your pain.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
we lost power for I think 5 days.
Yeah. But like hopefully I live in a super big apartment complex and I couldn't imagine them like letting the power be down for like multiple days, but who knows. So it's my first hurricane living here, but so I don't think it will be an issue, but if I do like not have power, I'll reach out to you guys and let you know.
How? You don't have power. Your phone.
Before my phone dies, I'll be like, quick guys, I got 17% left.
I'm like, well, there's no power. You can't even use the phone. I'm sorry, guys.
Use my address, mail me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll send a search and rescue, okay?
Are we doing that bullet point thingy for checklist for everybody? Like, are we sending like an email for that or a text
I
or?
can send out a text.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's what they said. The text was like the most
Okay.
accessible.
Okay.
Cool. Do we want to try to set a meeting for Thursday?
What's like Wednesday, Tuesday for you guys? Just so like Marina said, we're not literally right at
Waiting
the
at
edge.
the
of
last
it.
minute. So that would be the 3rd. Is a Tuesday. Hold on. Guys, I might have a hair appointment. Must check. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I just
too.
got my hair did today.
You got your hair did?
I gotta take
Yeah, I
care
got
of
my hair
this.
did.
Oh my goodness.
My Tuesday's totally open.
My Tuesday is also completely open.
Pretty sure that's the day of my hair.
I
Ignore that.
have a church thing Tuesday night, so I would just have to be done by like 6:15 Arizona time. Yeah, 6 or 6:15 Arizona time. But anytime.
Cool.
Okay, just kidding. So between 1 p.m. and then 6 p.m. Arizona time, I'm free that day.
So Tuesday's the 3rd of September, and I would be available. My hair appointment is on the 4th.
Nice.
Yeah.
What time, Amber, do you get off work and are you like able to start again?
I get off of work at 4.
Okay.
I have to do homework with a 5-year-old though, so that is quite tedious. So I'm not really available before dinner and that homework until about 6. I would say at the earliest, just to make sure everything is done.
Okay, so that kind of negates with Cheyenne's availability then.
Okay. Because that would be on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about Thursday a week from today, which would be the 5th?
I'd have to do for Thursday the 5th. I close, so I'd have to
Yeah,
do it before 2 p.m. my time.
Which doesn't work for Amber.
Right.
It doesn't work for me either because I get off work at 6 p.m.
Okay.
I mean, I could try to trade with people though. Like, that's totally an option.
And Paul, you said that Friday and Saturday you weren't available, right?
No, I'm pretty much always available. Oh, the one note I made last meeting was I'd like to avoid Tuesday nights and Saturday nights.
Tuesday
Because I
and
have
Saturday night. Okay.
because I have an ongoing commitment, but I can miss for this. Like, don't get me wrong. If it comes down to it, please, like, suggest those nights. I'm cool.
Well, does anybody have anything against a Friday evening? Not that I don't enjoy you guys. It's just it's gonna, put off my wine drinking.
I get off at 6:30 my time, which will be 7:30 Arizona time.
7:30 Arizona. Aaron has stated that something after 8 o'clock in the evening would be preferable for him Arizona time.
Are we talking about Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
What, Cheyenne?
Saturday, which
Oh my
means
God.
I have to be up at 3 Arizona time.
Okay.
I can make that sacrifice for you guys, but
Okay.
I can skip my Tuesday. So if Tuesday works best, like you can do it then. So.
Well, Cheyenne, what day works good for you then?
Huh?
What day does work good for your schedule? I mean, I want to at least
Okay.
try.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like evenings for me are like really hard.
Oh,
Just
okay.
because I serve a lot in my church, and so like I serve in a young adults group. I serve in high school, and I also do a Bible study, and so it's like it's just a lot. So I'm gonna like be flexible with you guys, and I can miss where it is needed.
Does your Bible study want to learn how to run a virtual team meeting?
We might. We could do like a Bible study over a virtual.
There we go.
But yeah. So if Tuesday works for you guys, we can do it. If Friday works better,
Tuesday would.
I work at Starbucks, so I can drink a lot of coffee Saturday. So
Tuesday would work better for me personally.
So let's say, unfortunately, let's say Tuesday is what we go for, and then you have to voluntarily miss out on your arrangement. I know it works for Aaron. I think it worked for Marina too, right? What about Amber and Isadora? Tuesday?
Tuesday works well for me.
Tuesday, yeah, I'm off. I'm good.
And we're talking about Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Is that the time we go with?
Whenever for me.
Yeah.
California
I don't.
or Arizona time, I mean?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so Aaron, I think he said has the day off, so that 8 p.m. rule doesn't have to apply necessarily.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I know that
Okay.
I know that Amber, you have your after work, you have to come home and you have a family, you know. So
Listen, just a small human.
oh no.
So what about, I'll just pick a time. So Tuesday at 5 p.m. Arizona time.
That would
I
be
don't think-
too early for me. I
Too
think
early?
Too
7
early.
o'clock would be good.
7?
7 Arizona
7 o'clock
time.
would be good for me. And I would say 6:30 would be like the earliest.
And Cheyenne, you'll do that for us? You sure? I
Yeah.
do feel bad.
So my only thing is like if we cannot meet like consistently on Tuesdays,
Mhm.
just that way I don't have to skip it every week. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we looking at Tuesday?
Tuesday, was it, did we say 7 Arizona time?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that would be Tuesday, September 5th. Or September 3rd. I'm lying. Excuse me. September
Yeah, I feel like this kind of discussion might be almost more difficult through the app, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'll
'Cause
try it.
Like-
and then go off to work and not respond for 8 hours.
To an extent, I could see the benefit of having everyone's schedule physically laid out, but the nuances of our just verbal communication it makes it a little easier to find wiggle room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
try
might-
to figure it out too, but
Yeah, I'm
I
not
was gonna say I'll look into it like after this, but I mean, yeah, if it's too much, like I mean, it's easier to just plan it after every meeting.
okay, hold on. Does anybody use like their Outlook and their Google Calendar through okay.
I have, but I have minimal experience with it. Why?
Yeah, I've never used it.
Because sometimes you can utilize your email calendar and request meetings, and people can accept or decline those meetings. So we might be able to utilize that. I haven't used it through Google. I've only used it through Outlook.
Mm,
So I'll see if I can figure that out too as another option for us to see if that will work.
cool.
So that even if they're not on consistent dates, everyone has had a chance to kind of look ahead. And that would certainly help as far as trying to plan ahead for any future facilitation.
Right on. Yeah. See, it's a good thing we did this because we're like just now hitting our hour and a half mark. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through everything super fast.
yeah. Did it feel rushed, or do you guys think
It
was
didn't feel
just
rushed.
Okay, cool. You just think it was pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool.
Oh, because
Okay,
they have to be at least an hour and a half, or they have to be at least an hour.
Well,
It said an hour to an hour and a half. So
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
I
I think as
the
long as we
hour
hit
and a
over
half-
an hour, we're good.
Okay.
But I think with the meeting, like the agenda, it'll probably be about an hour and a half most of the times, especially when we're actually doing an assignment together. It might even be longer than that, but we'll see. I mean, it's probably fine.
Okay.
I don't mind it going over if it had to. But you know,
Yeah, you are.
as the timekeeper, you
Yeah.
know, it's
Did you
important.
do
It's,
any-
it's
Did you
important
do
to me.
anything?
No. Yeah, I was hey guys, we're at the hour and 35-minute mark, just a heads up, you know.
I said that.
Hey, doesn't matter. I'm the timekeeper, okay?
Yeah, all right.
You're stealing my job.
I'm challenging you. That's my job.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
Mm,
Oh my gosh.
So next meeting is
September 3rd, 7 p.m. Arizona time.
okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So
Right on.
Awesome.
Tuesday, September 3rd. Yes.
Cool. So I'll go through in the next like day or two and just send out just like that checklist in the group chat about everything that we need to have ready for this next meeting. And then Marina, you're gonna set up the Google Doc before the
Yes.
next meeting. Awesome. If we ever have any questions, comments, concerns, just put it in the group chat. Anything else we need to address before we're done?
I don't believe so.
I think we hit it all.
Yeah,
If I'm lost, I'll text you guys to make sure I'm on the same page again.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
call
Everybody
it
enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a nice night, guys.
Have a good night. guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. It was fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.